before we finish packing up down at Eaglevale and start the day off with a morning cuppa.
Well, it's fine. It's a great spot here. There's a ripper spot here down at Eaglevale, just out of Dargo. It's probably about an hour and a half out of Dargo sort of thing. Great spot there, right on the Wonnangatta River. So we're just heading out now. We're going to make our way towards Tocqueville probably for tonight. But see what happens. We'll make a bit up as we go. But anyway, Tocqueville's sort of the plan. But first, we've got to cross over the Wonnangatta River, get across the other side, and head up over Cynthia Range. So in for a cracking day. This is the Eaglevale track here, heading up towards the top of Cynthia Range, and now just starting to drive through some of this burnt country from the fires we had, a few months ago. It's a bit airy sort of driving through this country now after the fires have been through, but hey, it'll come back. There's already some green leaves starting to sprout up on some of the trees, so good old Mother Nature, she'll bounce back and hopefully get back to the days where it was, but it'll take a while, that's for sure. Approaching the junction there at Wombat Range track, which goes into Wonnangatta, but that's all shut now with seasonal closures, so we'll continue across the top here at Cynthia Range and head up in somewhere around Tocqueville later on this afternoon. Going past station track here. That's generally the way I normally sometimes go down into Tocqueville that way, but haven't been along the full length of Cynthia Range for a while, so we'll stay up high and we'll continue along Cynthia Range and prick up Crooked River track at the end and maybe make our way up Collingwood Spur track somewhere later on this afternoon. But this is just a nice drive. It's a real shame about the fires that have gone through here, because God, there's not much left. now the top of Cynthia Range here, bit of a helipad there, great lookout. So now we're dropping down here and we'll pick up Crooked River track at the bottom. Playing a lefty there and do a couple of crossings through and pick up Collingwood Spur just a bit further over there. Then we'll shoot up Collingwood down in Talbotville a bit later on. It's a fairly steep little drop off down here off Cynthia Range track, so just got first gear low rein, just walking down here, just letting the engine braking do all the work and staying off the brakes, and particularly when I got reduction gear certainly does help in downhill set descents like this, but yeah, you've got to try and start the brakes as much as possible and let that engine braking do its work and roll on down and get to the bottom, no worries. Pretty good look at Randall track going up over the other side over there. Oh, that's a good track too. It's winding its way up through the mountains there. It's a great view. It's a good little section. The tracks are in great nick at the moment because when the fires went through here just recently, those recent fires a few months ago, they put dozers over the tracks to maintain them so they can certainly use them for firefighting efforts. And look, at the end of the day, I'd much rather see tracks get maintained than have gates put up on them. So yeah, it's a good thing seeing the tracks get maintained, and there's certainly a good reason why they've been done for the moment with that recent bushfires that we certainly had in this area. Certainly the other thing I'm using here, particularly in this downhill section like this, I've got the rear locker in. It just keeps that back end all turning over at the same pace and no chance of slipping in this little bit. It gets a bit crossed up occasionally, so certainly a good idea what this is here. Have that rear locker going in, it just keeps it helping tracking nice and straight down these steep hills. There we go, down off bottom of Cynthia Range track. Now we're going to pick up Crooked River track down the bottom here, bang a lefty here, do a couple of crossings on the way through and pick up the bottom of Collingwood Spur track, I reckon. Go up Collingwood and down into Talbotville for the night. Righto, swing around here. Oh, I'll have to have a couple of goes at this, I reckon. On the Crooked River track here gets pretty tight, so you've got to make sure you hug this bank pretty close, well as close as you can anyway, and get around this because there's a fair drop off down that side, so just stay in as nice and close as you can and all will be good. There we go. It's a long way down there. A few of the local cattle for the area roaming through here. See a few of them still out in the bush. Collingwood Spur track. Now Collingwood Spur comes down to a V at the bottom down here, so you can take either one of these up and they'll certainly join up with it up there. So we'll take this one here and
Collingwood's a fair climb too.
Yeah mate, Collingwood's a good little track, so we'll take this one up the top and see how we go. This is where Collingwood Spur branches off, so you can certainly go down that one there, same track. Both end up down there on the Crooked River track, so it doesn't matter which one you come up, both get on the same track. Now we're just on this one and head up the full length of Collingwood Spur track. This is a cracking track, so we'll get up the helipad up there and probably pull up there for a bit of a look and check out the amazing view. It's pretty good. up here and check out the view because it's a pretty good 360 view here. Absolutely amazing. Let's go and check this out. Wicked.
In its day, the gold mining town of Talbotville was originally named Ramtown. It was soon changed to Talbotville, and in 1865, Talbotville was a thriving little town and boasted a range of shops to service the miners that were working in the area, from a butcher shop, bakery, a doctor, chemist, news agency, brewery and a post office, and not one but 3 licensed hotels. It's just a real shame that none of this is left today.
Tocqueville here, and look, this is a great spot, and how about this, we've had the whole place to ourselves overnight, which is pretty rare to come down here and there's no one camped up here at Tocqueville. It's a beautiful spot right here on the Crooked River. So now we've got to sort of head for home, but we're going to go out the long way out and do the 5 or 6 crossings of the Crooked River and end up at Kingswell Bridge bit further down the track, and might pull over there and maybe air up from there. But it's going to be a great day. The weather's been absolutely fantastic just for this time of year. You know, mid-June, we've had 4 or 5 days, just beautiful sunshine, no wind. It's just amazing to get this weather this time of year. So we'll do the first crossing here and we'll continue on, head towards Kingswell Bridge. approaching this Farmer's Gate here on Crooked River track. Now, just like any other gate that you come across, particularly Farmer's Gates or whatever, however you find them, make sure you leave them as you find them. So when you go through, just make sure you get someone to shut them behind, and that way be all good. You shut that gate, mate, as we come through this.
Sure thing.
2 more crossings to go. Sometimes these are generally the deepest on this Crooked River track, these last 2. So we'll see how we go, but it doesn't look too bad today. Actually shutting that gate, which is good. No worries. These are just in 2nd gear, low range, and no worries, just nice little momentum as you go through, form a bit of bow wave at the front, good stony bottoms, there's always generally plenty of traction in them. Just a good thing to do when you come to the other side as you meet up the exit point, particularly if you've got a heap of vehicles coming behind you. You just want to slow down and just let that water drain off, and that way you don't drag it up the track, particularly if it's a bit steeper exit as you come out. Just makes it a bit harder for all those vehicles come behind you. Just make it easier for everyone, and they all come through. So that's the last crossing now before we get to Kingswell Bridge. We'll pull up there, I reckon.
A bit of depth to it.
Yeah, mate, generally those last 2 are fairly known as being the deepest of all those crossings between here and Talbotville. So yeah, a little bit in it. Just approaching Kingswell Bridge down here, mate. I'd say we continue on and stay on these low pressures, and we'll pull up just before we get to the bitumen, I reckon. Well, we're almost back on the bitumen down here, not far to go before we reach the blacktop, where we'll pull over down there and we'll air back up and get some air back in these tyres and head for home and think about where the next trip's going to be, but got a fair idea where that might be. So until then, thanks very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video you've seen, and look forward to seeing you on another one of Tim Bates' Full Drive Adventures.